Hello everybody, lilahsgigi here. Today we're going to do a 3-pin bar design. I was messing around last night, well yesterday, and actually I posted it to see if it was new or not, and the consensus was that it was new. And I'm honestly, when I took it off, I can't tell you if this is the front or the back. I think this is the top of the bracelet and this is the underside. So it's completely reversible. It gives you a completely different look. Completely. I'm going to do 2 loom links on this. I'm not sure how long it'll be, but we're going to take it all the way to the top. Yeah, so thank you very much for all the name suggestions. I decided, since it's reversible, to go with Crazy Just Might Work, Suzanne HB's suggestion of reverse engineering on this, because it is completely reversible and it's beautiful on both sides. So in the meantime, when I did this, I laid it out, and when I was looping it up the first time, I had it the way I thought I wanted it, and then when I looped it the second time, it came out a little bit different. So I'm also going to post this. It's just a little snippet. See how close they are? Very close. But the white in here, which would be the red in here, goes over these 2 pieces right here. Just right there. That's the red, which would be the white there. I don't know if you can see it or if I'm even explaining it correctly. But when you flip it over, ta-da, it's the same. It is the same on the reverse side. So I'm going to post this one and ask again if it is new. If it is new, I will call that total reversal. Okay, so thank you very much for all of your name suggestions, but this will be called reverse engineering. Pretty cool. This other one, for some reason, when you loop it, it kind of sits up. So if you want to use the reverse side, you actually have to pull this out, which gives you that crossband right there. Okay? All right, so enough about that one. We're going to work on reverse engineering today. Oh, and just quickly, people have asked about my nails. These are my nails. They are not acrylic and they are not gel. I just keep them polished. I found the nail community, and they have been extremely helpful in guiding me on, using cuticle oil every day. And I know if you go back and look at my old ones, you can see that my nails were pretty relatively short, except for when I had the acrylics on. But I haven't had acrylics on for months, and there we go. Look at that C curve. Crazy. Crazy curve in my nails. Anyway, enough about the nails. Let's get on to this. I'm going to use caramel chocolate, Caribbean green, and white. And I think I'm just trying to decide how I want to lay all of this. Well, all right. I'm going to use the caramel. I want more color in it than that. So maybe what I'll do is, let's look at this. All right. So if I have white where the red is, and then caramel, and then brown, I think that's what we're going to try. I know I used the cylindric on this I always do that a lot just to see how the pattern comes out. So first thing you want to do is your border color. You'll drop I call it the border color. It's the border color and some of the inside color. You can make it any color you want, but I'm going to go out to the right and then out to the left. Okay, and we're going to stop right there. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to alternate colors. So we're just putting cross bands across these 2. So that's 1. Oops, right here you can use the same color if you want. I'm choosing to use different colors. So, and just all the way across, all the way to the top, except for the last pegs. You want to keep those free because we're going to put border band color on those. Okay, so do that all the way up to the bottom of the bottom. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but do it all the way up to the end of your loom, and I will be back with you with the next step. Okay, so I am back, and as you can see, my crossbands are every other set of crossbands is a different color, and I went from left to the center, center to the outside. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay the center pattern and the sides at the same time. Let me get a little bit closer, be okay. All right, so straight up on that side, straight up on the third one, and then go to the center, and you're going to do a V. Diagonal to the left, and come on, down. And make sure you push your bands down, and then diagonal to the right. I'm going to do the exact same thing in this pattern. You're going to do this pattern all the way up to the end of the loom. Okay? Straight up on that diagonal, on that border, straight up on that border, hop over to the center, diagonal to the left, excuse me, and diagonal to the right. You'll do that all the way up. Do that one more time, and then I'll go off and finish mine. Do both borders, straight up on both sides, hop over to the center, well, if I can get my bands, and diagonal to the left, and then a diagonal to the right. Okay? All right, so go ahead and do that all the way up to the end of your loom, and I will be back with you when I finish mine. Alrighty, so I am back. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring. He's underneath the desk snoring. Okay, so I'm back, and the last thing I did was I laid these two border bands and diagonals out here, and now I'm going to just finish up the border and then put a triple cap band on here. I'm going to flip it around. Alrighty, so I am back, and you may notice that I have blue connectors on here instead of the purple. That is because I lost the film that I just did. So I have it finished over here. So I'm going to just show you how to loom this up. All right, so I've turned it around, and actually I have a double. It doesn't matter if it's a double or triple. This is kind of tight, so it's fine. So go in through the cap band, grab your border band, and loop it to the left. Well, if I can get it on there. Just trying to keep my hands out of the way. Go in that same pin, move everything away, and put that border band back to itself. Okay. First pin bar, first pin, loop the diagonal back to itself, and loop the border straight up. Third pin bar, first pin, loop the diagonal back to itself, and then loop the border straight up. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, first we're going to loop up the diagonals back to themselves. We're going to reach down and grab the cross band and loop it to here, and then to here. And that will move this out of the way, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. All right, so second pin, first pin bar, loop the diagonal back to itself, go over to the other side and loop that diagonal back to itself to the center. Drop down, grab the top cross band. Let me use my fingers to pull this. I don't want it breaking. And instead of looping it back to itself, you're going to loop it up on the diagonal. Reach in, grab the other one, the other cross band, and loop it diagonal to the right. And let go. There you go. We are going to grab, if you move this out of the way, you can see that pulled when we did that, but if you move this out of the way, you can see that cross band on the bottom. All we're going to do is loop that up over the peg on both sides. Okay. And then we're going to drop down and loop up the border. If we don't do this, if you don't loop that bottom cross band over, your bracelet will fall apart. So don't forget to do that. I'm going to go over to the other side, pull and I'm giving it a pull. You can see it kind of straightens out that band a little bit, and looping the border up. Okay, we'll do that maybe a couple more times. First pin bar, third pin, diagonal to the center, back to itself. Right hand side, that diagonal goes back to the center. Okay, drop down, grab the top cross band, and I'm going to use my fingers to pull it out because I don't want it breaking. And instead of looping it back to itself, you're going to loop it up and diagonal. Go in, grab the other one, which is the last one on that pin, and loop it up and diagonal instead of back to itself. Go over to the left hand side. When you pull this band, it pulls this out of the way, and that's where you're going to go, right in there. You're just going to grab it and pull it up and over. And what that does is that puts this band on the border band. You could loop up the border band now, but I'm just going to continue the way I was. Hop over to the right hand side, reach in there, grab that cross band, lift it up and over. I'm going to go back to the left hand side, do my border band straight up, right hand side, and border band. I'm giving it a tug. You can see it straightening that band straight up. I'll do this with you one more time. So now we're on the first pin bar. Oops. Reach in, grab the top band, should be the diagonal that goes to the center, loop it back, right hand side, grab that diagonal and loop it back. Drop down to the center, grabbing that cross band, the one that's on the top. Go through everything on there until you get that top cross band, and then you're going to be looping it. Oh, I hate when they're tight like that. But these bands are pretty thin and they stretch really well, so sometimes it's hard to pull them out, and that's the caramel chocolate. Go back into the center, grab the other cross band, and instead of looping it back to itself, you're going to loop it up on the diagonal to the right. Back over to the left hand side, reach in and grab that cross band that's on the bottom, loop it up and over that peg. On the right hand side, grab that cross band, up and over the peg. Back to the left, grab that border band because you're going to loop it back up to itself, making sure that that is on there. If you pull it out, you can see that that band is on that border band. Okay. Same thing on the right hand side, grabbing that border band, giving it a tug, making sure that it is on there. Because again, if you forget to do that, your bracelet will fall apart. Okay, so rewind if you have to, and well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I've already finished it on the other one. I had to do this one because I lost footage, but I'll pull that away. Pause me if you have to. I have finished mine already. So this is at the top. This is long, sorry. So we're at the top, and I did everything I was supposed to do. That band is right there. Okay, so once you've done all these out, you're going to go in and grab your border band, loop it to the center, grab your other border band from the right hand side and loop it to the center. If you put a closure band on like I did, you will be able to reach, excuse me, give this a little tip here so you can see it. Grab your border band, your closure band, reach in, grab it, and pull it up through all of your bands. And you can see that it has indeed caught everything there. Okay, so of course I never have a C-clip when I need it. So we're going to just take another white band, and I'm just going to do a slip knot there. I'm going to pull it through those two bands and slip knot it. You can clip it any way you can. I mean, if you don't have a C-clip handy, you can just slip knot it, and it's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this off with you. Yeah, it's not too long, so I never pull my bands off, even on a 3-pin bar design. I just don't. I'm always afraid that it's going to break. So I'm pulling this off, and you can use beads on this, I am sure. I'm looking at this, and the striped part is the underside. So if you wanted to lay beads across those, you certainly could. The top part is, well, I'll show you when I take it off. Let me just do this as quickly as possible without breaking anything, and hoping that I caught everything, because if I didn't, like I said, those cross bands, the bottom of them, if you didn't catch them, your bracelet will fall apart, no doubt. And I may be able to, I don't usually like to do this, and if I do it, I do it very carefully. Oops, that's going to come right off of there, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I don't like doing that. I try. I'm just trying to film up my neighbor. I don't know if you can hear him. He's doing his yard just when I'm filming. Gotta love it. And he's right next to the window. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this off, and then I'll be back. Okay, so my neighbor next door took a long time to do his yard. I got most of my bands straightened while I was waiting for him to finish. Really cute, huh? And this is the other side. So this is the underside. The part that when you're looming it up, this is the top part. So that's the top part, and then this is the underside. And the underside is usually the signature side, but I'm telling you, it's like, I'm looking at it, it's almost like a boy's side and a girl's side, right? Anyway, it turned out really nice. Let me get you further away. And I went all the way to the top of a double loom, and it fits. I've been messing with it and haven't really done much stretching with it. But as you can see, I could put a C-clip on there, or if I wanted it looser, I could actually use one of my clasps that I like to use all the time. And choose either side. It actually turned out very nice, and I'm quite happy with it. Even using the 600 count bands, it turned out nice. And I did use the 300 count here. This was the white that was in the yin and yang pack. Yeah, I think it turned out very nicely. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And I keep looking at it. It looks so nice. My goodness, I'm just really pleased with the way it turned out. Very pleased. All right, so this is reverse engineering by me, tutorial by me. So if you stumbled across this by accident, please go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my family. Like, share, and again, subscribe if you wish. Don't have to, of course. Not required to watch my my videos. Subscribing is not a requirement for watching my videos. Absolutely not. So it looks like I may have a few more to straighten, but for the most part, it's pretty good. You know what's funny is I have dogs, and so I don't see the fuzzies when I'm looking at it, but when I look through the viewfinder, I see fuzzies everywhere. Funny. All right, everyone, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be kind.